This is Hammer Striker here. Today we're going to wrap up our series on 45 caliber concealed carry guns with a brief comparison of two of the big contenders in that area. We've got the Springfield Armory XDM 3.8 compact, and we've got the Glock 30 compact. Both of them are very high quality, they're both very reliable, and they're both well liked and well respected guns. So even if you went to the point of saying, I'm just going to go to the gun store and buy whichever one happens to be in stock, you'd do well with either one of these. However, let me go ahead and show you a few of the things that make them different that might influence your decision one way or another on which one you'd prefer to have. So we'll start with, as I pick them up, I'll show you that they're clear. So we'll start with the Springfield. See that it is clear. Empty magazine. And we'll do the same with the Glock. Clear gun, empty magazine. So we'll start with the Springfield, talk about a few of its features and how they compare to the Glock. First off, we'll talk about magazine capacity. That's always one of the factors that comes into play. The Springfield comes with a factory 9-round flush mount stainless steel magazine. Magazines are very high quality, has a plastic base plate, and fits very smoothly in the gun. It's also available with a 13-round extended magazine. And one of the characteristics of the 13-round magazines or the extended magazines on the XDM that differentiates it a little bit from the Glock is that the extender is sized to fit with your choice of replaceable backstraps. Both guns do have replaceable backstraps, but only the XDM sizes the grip extension to fit. So when you put the extended magazine in, if you've got the appropriate extender on it, you get a full-size grip. Very smooth, very streamlined, and very integrated. When discussing the interchangeable backstrap, on the XDM it's the lower part of the backstrap that interchanges. You actually pull this component off and replace it with another one. On the Glock, features are very similar. It comes with this 10-round magazine with a slight base plate extension. This is the factory magazine. And it's your standard Glock steel-lined, polymer-coated magazine. Both of these are double-stack guns. Glock, like the XDMs, will accept the magazines from the bigger guns. So the Glock extended magazine would be this 13-round Glock 21 magazine. It does fit in, and unlike the XDM, Glock really doesn't offer anything in the way of extenders or any kind of matching grip extension. There's a few on the market, but none of them come close to the XDM in integration and smoothness. The Glock does have addable backstraps, so it comes with the base texture in the frame itself, and then there's 2 backstraps you can add to this, and it's a very smooth addition. They fit well to increase the grip size a little bit. From the safety perspective, both of these are drop-safe weapons. They're both striker fired. They both integrate all of the common safety features that are available today, such as the drop-safe trigger. Both of them have fully automatic, no external safeties. However, the XDM does have one additional safety feature, and this is a bit contentious. Some people love it, some people hate it, and some people it just doesn't matter one way or the other. But this 1911 style grip safety. This is actually a very well done grip safety. As soon as you get the gun in a proper firing grip, it automatically disengages, and it disengages very smoothly. It sits mostly flush when it is disengaged, and the edges are somewhat rounded, so it won't bite into your hand or in any way disturb you. Both of these guns are safe to carry chambered and in any other safe manner you'd want to carry the gun. From the standpoint of accessories, both of them have a Picatinny rail. The XDM has a 3-slot rail, so you can add lights, lasers, or whatever it is you might want to add. And the Glock has a single-slot rail. And it also allows you to, whatever light laser that you might want to add to it. From an aesthetics point of view, the XDM is a little bit more stylized. The textures have some pattern to it, so somewhat of a cool looking pattern on the slide, and it makes it look a little bit more upscale. The Glock is a very functional styling, Everything on the Glock is styled for performing the function, performing it very well, but there's nothing on here that's there for the purpose of making it look good. It's just there to do its job. By virtue of that, the Glock is a little bit more streamlined, a little bit smoother. It has fewer things that stick out and expand the size of the frame. So from a holstering perspective and drawing perspective, there's fewer things that could potentially snag on the Glock. Even though when you do look at the Springfield, you'll see that the things that do stick out are well rounded and deburred, so that you are unlikely to have any kind of an issue like that. From the perspective of sights, another important characteristic, the guns both have very good sights. The Glock has your standard U-dot, which if you're familiar with Glocks, you're familiar with that. The XDM, and I'll show you this particular one, this one has an aftermarket laser that was added. As you push the button and you get your laser dot. And its integrated sight is the U-dot format, similar to the Glock. However, that isn't the factory sight. So let me get this XDM 3.8 compact 9mm that is clear. And let me show you what the factory sights look like on that. They're the 3-dot format. And then what I'll do is I'll put the two side by side and show you what they look like next to each other, using this one here as the example on that. So here's an example of the sights, with the sight picture you'll get with the two different gun sights. Both of them are very clear, very easy to see. So if you like the Glock U-dot format, then you've got the Glock sight, and if you like the 3-dot, it'll come stock with the XDM, but you can also easily switch out the sights on either gun to whatever aftermarket sight you like. The XDM is dovetailed front and rear, so you can push the sights out front and rear and replace them. And the Glock is dovetailed on the rear and pinned on the front, but the pin on that is a bolt that's accessible from underneath the slide. You can unscrew it and pop the sight out, so both sights are fully replaceable. The Glock are windage adjustable, and neither one of these is height adjustable. But you can windage adjust either the front or the rear on the XDM, even though in all reality you would typically adjust one or the other. A few other things that kind of differentiate these a little bit is the takedown procedure. The takedown procedure is very simple on both of them. On the XDM, there is a couple things you need to take into consideration. You can't cycle the slide on the XDM if the grip safety is not pressed. You put back on it, it won't cycle. But you see that you're going to more likely want to grab it in a firing grip anyway. If you depress it in any way, you can cycle it. So it really doesn't interfere with it. Even when I started to pull it, I almost naturally just got a better grip on it to cycle it. The XDM, to take it down, you flip the lever up, take it apart. If you want to see details on takedown procedures and stuff like that on either of these guns, we've got a full video and we'll put it in the comments for both of them if you want to look into some more details. The Glock is your standard Glock takedown procedure. You pull down these little two levers and the slide comes right off. The triggers on these are very good triggers. Both of them are very good triggers. They're a little bit different, but they're both very high quality. And I'll show you the Glock trigger first. Of course, we're still working with an unloaded gun. You've got a little bit of take up, and then a clean crisp break, short reset, and then the break. The XDM is very similar. A little bit more take up than the Glock, and a little bit longer break, but not significantly. Slightly longer reset than the Glock. It's almost all the way out, and then the break. But both of them are very, very nice triggers and very easy to get back on target and get a nice clean trigger break on it. From a size perspective, they're very similar. I'm going to put back in the stock smaller magazine. Now on the Glock, this is a Gen 4 Glock. You can get one of these Gen 3 magazines if you can find it. It will work in the Glock. The only thing that you have to take into account is on the Glock, the mag catch is reversible, so you can flip it over to the other side on the Gen 4s. It does require a Gen 4 magazine if you reverse the mag catch, but the older magazines will work fine if you leave it in the right-handed configuration. The XDM, on the other hand, is already ambidextrous. Button on this side, button on that side, no conversion that you've got to do. So if you look at the size of them, dimensionally, they're within hundredths of an inch in pretty much all dimensions. So if you look at the grips, you know, the Glock is a little bit shorter at the back, almost equal at the front because it's got a little bit different grip angle. And that's again with the stock mag that has the slide extender on it. If you look at the length of them, you almost can't tell the difference. It is, I think it's 0.02 of an inch difference between the two. And same with the slide thickness when you put them side by side. The XDM looks like the slide is a lot thinner because it tapers to the top. But when you go down and measure to the widest point where the things that stick out on the frame, it's 1 or 200ths of an inch difference. From a weight perspective, the Glock is approximately an ounce less weight unloaded with the magazine. But of course, it holds 1 extra round. You put the extra round in it, and you're going to get much closer. So there's really nothing from a size weight perspective that would say one or the other is vastly superior. Overall, both of these have been a pleasure to shoot. Both of them have had flawless reputations and been flawless functioning guns, so you'll do well with either one. One other last consideration, the grip angle on the Glock is slightly different than most other handguns. And some people, when you pick a Glock up and they try to pick it up, it just doesn't aim right for them. And that may be that the grip angle isn't as compatible with you as some other people. The grip angle on the XDM is more characteristic of most of the other pistols out there. So one thing I've done with friends is pick up the XDM. If you don't like that, pick up the Glock, you'll probably like it. If you don't like the Glock, pick up the XDM, you'll probably like it. So again, we've made a full video on both of these. If you want more details, getting into more, the takedown and all the other stuff, check out our other videos. Otherwise, happy hunting, and if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. Have a great day.